Hi, this is Renee Rosen, author of Windy City Blues, and you're listening to the Cook Memorial Public Library podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Cook Memorial Public Library podcast, where we invite you to spend just a few minutes with the staff at Cook Library. I'm Nate Goss, and in this episode we are going to talk about two new library services you may not be aware of, but they could really enhance your experience at the library. To help me with this, I have Susie, the head of our circulation department, and John, our technology services and support coordinator. Welcome, Susie. Welcome, John.
Hi, Nate.
Thank you.
I've asked Susie and John to each bring their expertise of the service they had a hand in launching. So Susie is going to be talking about Shoutbomb, which is the library's new text message notifications option. And John is going to introduce our new 3D printing services. So there's no need to wait any longer. Let's go ahead and get started. Susie, I'm going to start with you. What is Shoutbomb? Let's hear your best sort of elevator pitch for why a library user might want to know about this.
Okay, Shoutbomb is a third-party vendor. That's the name of the company. But they work with us and allow for text messaging notification for hold pickup, for items that are coming due soon, for renewals like that. You can renew if the item is possibly can be renewed. You're also notified if the item can't be renewed, so you know you need to return it. This is going to be very helpful for people who want to prevent overdue fines.
Sure, yeah.
And also for people who just want to maybe know sooner than the email notification. It does not replace your email notification choices or your phone or print notification for hold pickups and overdues, but it is on top of that, and it's an opt-in.
Yeah, I signed up for Shoutbomb, and what I really like about it is the fact that, I actually got a text a few minutes ago of something that came in, and I had email notification, and usually that would come in like once in the day. So I really like the immediacy of Shoutbomb. I think that's a really huge perk.
Yeah, another really neat aspect is if you get a hold pickup notice like you're saying you did, let's say you don't pick it up right away, well, you'll get another reminder just before it's going to expire off the hold shelf. And I think that's awesome because that has happened for me more than once.
Yeah, so when you say expire off the hold shelf, what you're meaning is we give 4 days for people to pick up, and it's basically letting you know that your 4 days are coming.
Yeah. Come and get it if you really want
it. So if someone's interested, what's the steps they need to take to sign up?
So you do need a mobile phone with text messaging service, obviously. You need your library card number, and you need a account password to your library account.
So the same password you would use to log into your account through our website or
Absolutely,
through the
correct.
app. Yeah.
So if you already have that, and you have all those other things, then you are set. It's really easy. The first thing you do is send a text to cooklibrary@shoutbomb.com and the word sign up, one word.
So just text that word to cooklibrary@shoutbomb.com.
Correct. And then you'll be prompted. And I mean, that's the beauty of this service is you really don't have to memorize anything much after that. They'll tell you to send your barcode, your library card barcode number, and then they'll ask you for the password, and then they'll start getting you all signed up, and you'll get all sorts of great information. One purpose of this, I've already actually helped patrons with this. Parents who have children who they're overseeing their children's library cards. Mm-hmm. The one phone number, the one phone that you use can control multiple accounts. So whoever's really overseeing those accounts, mom or dad, whichever one, they want to sign up themselves first as the main card, and then they will be prompted to add cards. One little stumbling block there is each of those cards do need to have a password also.
But that's such a nice feature then if you are that
Super
parent.
nice.
Yeah.
Super nice. And on top of that, the interactive aspect of renewing, you can actually renew through the text. You don't have to go to your library account, sign in, renew there. If the item is renewable, You will get that notification, and all you have to do is they prompt you with the code, which is RA, Renew All, or you can ask for the list, which is RL. But they let you know that. You don't have to memorize that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I've been using it for a few days now, and it really is intuitive because it tells you exactly what to do. Before we move on to John, is there any other feature of Shoutbomb that you really want to let people know is available as part of this text notification service?
Sure, you actually can, if your native language is Spanish, it's available as in Spanish, and you'll get all your notifications in Spanish. So basically, you again would send a text to cooklibrary@shoutbomb.com. You're sending a text to an email, and it's registrese.
Okay, for the Spanish
You just
language.
put that in. That's sign up for Spanish. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah. Generally, everybody I know who has signed up for this is very happy using it. The only thing that we've noticed when you sign up for this is that the response after you've sent the email sign up, there may be a varying response rates back to you. So, and it's dependent on the carrier. It may even be dependent on if you're in your basement or something. It's just
So
it's
just
a
be
cellular
just
situation.
be a little patient
Yeah,
when you first sign up.
yeah.
It's
There may be a
probably-
delay.
Yeah.
Generally, most people get responses right away.
Great.
Yeah.
And then, for anyone who's listening to this podcast and then later on they want to look into it a little bit more, is there a place on our website people can go to and read up about this, about Shoutbomb?
So if you want to learn more about the Shoutbomb text messaging service, you could go to cooklib.org/text messaging, or you can it is linked to our borrowing materials page. We're going to have plenty of bookmarks, and it's going to be in our newsletter upcoming for the summer. More information about Shoutbomb is going to be forthcoming, and ask any staff member, especially at the circulation department.
Great. Well, thank you, Susie. All right, let's go ahead and pivot now. Let's move over to John. Okay, so John, rumor has it that the library has a 3D printer. Now, could that possibly be true?
That is actually true, Nate. We have had a 3D printer since the fall. We just started offering 3D printing to patrons in the last month and a half or so. So if you need something 3D printed, be a toy or replacement part for something around the house, you can design that part and we can print it for you.
So the library's got 3D printing services. Now, how exactly does that work? Let's say I've got something I designed, in a program, and I'm like, oh, I would love to get this 3D printed. What's my next step?
Okay, we do have a process for 3D printing. The first step would be to come in and take one of our 3D printing orientation classes, a very short course where we describe what 3D printing is and the process you follow to get your 3D print printed here at the library. After that, you can go to the website, and under the services page, you go to the 3D printing link. There you will see a link to our 3D printing page. The first thing you need to do is read through the guidelines that give you kind of the rules of how to 3D print. Once you read those, down at the bottom there's a link where you can submit your print, your design file. It must be a .stl file, and you submit that, and then I will take it from there. I will print it for you, and then you will pick it up at the circulation desk at Cook Park.
Yeah, so right now there's just the one pickup point at the Cook Park location. And then do they just get notified the same way they would get notified, that there's a book to pick up, or how does that work?
When I complete the print, I will notify them via email that their print is ready to be picked up at the circulation desk, and I will also include in that email the price.
So there is a
print.
cost involved. What's the cost breakdown for 3D printing that we're...
The cost breakdown is based on the number of grams you use in your file. It goes anywhere from $2 to $6, so it's not really expensive. All the pricing details are included in the 3D printing guidelines.
Just for those who maybe know a little bit about 3D printing, what actual 3D printer do we have, and what kind of materials are we talking here as far as printing goes?
We have a Lulzbot Junior printer. Right now we are offering 3 different types of material. We have PLA, ABS, and HIPS are the 3 different types of plastic filament.
So you mentioned there being an orientation or class on 3D printing that you have to attend before you submit. Where does someone go to figure out when the classes are and possibly register?
There is a link to an event calendar on the 3D printing page. Right now, we are in the process of scheduling more of those.
So just keep an eye on it, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I noticed on the guidelines it does say that you need to be 14 or older to submit a job. So what would you recommend for someone who's maybe not quite 14 but is kind of interested in 3D printing and maybe has something they want to print? What can they do?
Their parents could submit the print for them.
Okay.
So then they would go through the process.
Okay. Yeah, and then so the parent would just sort of do it on behalf of the child. Then.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I think it's really awesome that we're getting that service off the ground and the texting service as well. So I want to just thank you, Susie and John, for taking the time to, first of all, get these services going, and second, for coming on the podcast and sharing the news about them.
You're
It
welcome.
was a lot of fun. Thanks.
All right, so if you want to find out more or use any of these new library features, one of the best places to start is our website, www.cooklib.org. You can find information about Shoutbomb on our borrowing materials page, as Susie mentioned. 3D printing you can find on our services page, as John mentioned. While on our website, we always recommend making a quick pit stop over at Shelf Life. That's the library's blog where we regularly share what's new and interesting in books, movies, music, genealogy, and local history. The blog's address is shelflife.cooklib.org. If you ever want to leave some feedback, maybe even suggest some topics for future episodes, we're always listening. Send us a message. You can send that to webmaster@cooklib.org. And if you're enjoying this podcast, we want you to share some more. Tell someone you're listening to us. And, one of the best things you can do is just take a moment to leave us a rating on iTunes. We will be back soon, but until then, keep reading, keep watching, and keep listening.